What's up guys, today we are checking out the new HY300 Smart Android Projector. Now what's immediately attractive about this projector is the design. It's very reminiscent to Samsung's Freestyle Projector, with that cylinder design supported by a stand with a hinge that lets the projector rotate 180 degrees, allowing you to project your content anywhere you like. And what makes this thing more intriguing is the price. Would you believe this costs only around £90, whereas the Samsung Freestyle is like 5 times more expensive. Now there is also a Black Friday coupon code which you should see in the middle of the screen right now, which will further bring down that price from £89 to £54, making this projector an absolute bargain. To see more great bang good Black Friday deals, do check out the links in the description box below. But the real question here is it any good, or is it at least usable? Because at this price point the expectation is not very high, but nevertheless we are going to give this one a chance to see what it can do, going through all our usual tests, including movies and PS5 Gaming. Now this thing is mains powered, so there is no internal battery, and a European power cable is supplied, and it looks like a standard kettle lead. You also get a standard infrared remote control included in the box. Now on the front of the projector you have your lens, and just above it there you can see a large focus adjustment dial. On the back of the projector you have a power button, HDMI input for your favorite game console or TV box. We've got a headphone jack, full-size USB port, and we have our power socket. The projector is made predominantly from plastic, finished in white, but the stand plate itself appears to be made from metal, and it does have some weight to it, so it can support the projector. So the projector is not going to topple forward, very decent stand included. Now let's quickly run through the specs. This is an LED video projector. Lamp life is 50,000 hours. Brightness is 120 ANSI lumens. You have a contrast ratio of 1500 to 1. Native resolution is 1280 by 720, and you do have support for 4K decoding. Now this is powered by an Allwinner chipset. It's the HY300 Quadcore with 1 gig of RAM and 8 gigs of internal storage. You also have 5 GHz Wi-Fi, Bluetooth version 5, and this is running full Android 11. The projector supports manual focus and auto keystone correction. It also supports wireless screen mirroring for your mobile devices, and the maximum optimal screen size is 130 inches. Okay, so here we are. The projector is all set up, and the first thing I need to do is test out the fan noise. So here's my sound meter. Just going to switch it on. So standing right next to the projector, you can expect a fan noise of around 41 decibels. And if we move 1 meter back, you can see that fan noise has dropped down to around 36 decibels. Alright, so we have the projector around 3 meters away from the wall in front of us, and the projection size is around 100 inches. If you want to increase or decrease the projector size, you're simply moving the projector forward or backwards. And we're projecting just over 100 inches. The projection quality looks pretty good. Now just to confirm, we are actually projecting directly on a cream colored wallpaper. If we talk about the focus adjustment, you can see most of the screen around this area is in focus and perfect. Just down here you can see the Crossy Road logo is slightly out of focus. See, if I go closer you can see it's slightly out of focus, and there's nothing I can do to improve that. So I'm going to adjust the focus right now on the fly just to show you. So if I try and get Crossy Roads a bit clearer, the rest of the logos start looking out of focus. So but I just want to let you know that the focus adjustment is not perfect. So we've got an Android TV box style of home screen. Remote control is responsive. It's an infrared remote control, but you don't have to point it at the projector for it to work. You can just naturally point straight, and it's pretty responsive. So decent enough remote control. If we head over to the system settings, we've got Wi-Fi settings, and I'll quickly open it up just to show you that 5 GHz Wi-Fi is supported. If we go back, you've got Bluetooth settings, languages. I'll quickly show you all the different languages that are available. I'm just skimming through them. You guys can read. Get to the end. All right, so those are all the languages. There are quite a few there included. Other settings, which will take you to application and factory reset. Projection settings. Now, this is important. We've got screen zoom. So if your room is not big enough and the screen overlaps the ceiling or the sides, you can actually zoom to shrink the screen down to around 50%. So that means you can use the projector in any size room. I'm going to take it back to 100% as we don't really have that issue. All right, we've got projection mode. So we have a number of modes here. In case you wanted to ceiling mount the projector, then you can rotate it accordingly. Right, we've got keystone correction. I have it set on automatic at the moment, but you can turn auto off and that will give the option to manually adjust things. It's basically vertical keystone correction. So if you move it to the left or the right, nothing's going to happen. But if you move it up or down, you can see it will adjust itself. And you can see the keystone correction is pretty quick. It does quite a good job. So a very decent vertical keystone correction. Go back to settings. We've got audio settings as well. So you can just basically turn the volume up and down. There are no other presets for audio. We've got date and time selection. And then you've got about, local upgrade and online upgrade. You can see we're running Android 11 and you can see the system storage info. And I've not installed anything, by the way. This is your default storage. So from 8 gigs, you have 3.82 gigs free to use. And you can see the memory information. It is 1 gig of RAM and 8 gigs of storage. Quite basic settings there. There's no presets for your video or your audio. On the plus point, this is an Android TV box built into the projector. You do have Google Play Store. So if I open it up, you can see that this is the Android TV version of the Play Store. So it's the limited version of the Play Store, but you can get most of the popular apps and games that are available. If we go back and go to applications, here are all the apps available on this system as standard. You do have Miracast and AirPin Pro, so you can screen mirror. Let's test Android with Miracast. Android phone, Poco F5 GT. Swipe down. We're selecting cast, scanning for devices. You can see the projectors come up 1787. Tap on it. Then you might have to confirm on the big screen as well. Hit accept. And any second now, our screen should be mirrored. There you go, guys. Screen mirroring working absolutely fine. And it's pretty fast as well with very minimal lag. Yeah, so screen mirroring for Android working superb. AirPin Pro doesn't actually exist anymore, so that's why it's not working. AirScreen is the new screen mirroring app. So if you open up AirScreen, grab your iPhone, type on screen mirroring, and there you can see the name of the projector. It's a bit different, HY300, so the projector's name comes up. Tap on it, and any second now, our screen will be mirrored. And there you go, guys. Screen mirroring working on both Android and iOS. Now it's time to open up YouTube, and we're going to play a whole bunch of movie trailers and see how it performs on the big screen. Here we go. Now the maximum resolution supported in YouTube is 1080p 60, and we don't have HDR support in YouTube. So let's see how it plays. The first thing I want to mention is actually the audio quality. So I have the speaker on max, and you heard we've got some distortion straight away. So speaker quality is not great. So I would actually turn the volume down a few notches from maximum, as you don't want that distorting noise when you're watching your movies or playing your games. Now let's talk about Mr. Lizard. 1080p at 60 frames, no frame drops. If we get a closer look at Mr. Lizard, you can see that it's all in focus. There is no pixelation even up close. The colors and contrasts are okay, maybe slightly on the duller side. So it's lacking that vibrancy. It's lacking the HDR that we usually see in projectors that I review on this channel. So no HDR, colors and contrasts a little bit dull, but it's clear. The picture quality is clear. But in the next few trailers, we're going to see how this projector handles dark scenes. So let's play the trailers.
Anyone but him. I didn't approve him. You know that. You are literally the last person on earth I want to see.
Time in New York history, people froze to death in the middle of July.
What is it?
Okay, so let's add a few comments here. You can see that dark scenes don't render very well. The brightness is just not bright enough to render those dark scenes. So with this projector, it's probably going to be better for maybe animated movies. But let's test out a few more trailers before we judge.
Do I look orange? I didn't touch it.
Orange is not my color. Not me. Hello?
Ah, in the toilet!
You just topped. Wait! I just need another.
Alright, so now we're moving on to Netflix. And I just want to quickly show you guys that Netflix HD is supported.
If you're a friend, you can help us stop Mannix.
Moving on to HDMI. So PlayStation 5 connected via HDMI. And if we check out the current video output information, you can see it's 1920 by 1080, so full HD resolution at 60 Hz, and HDR is not supported. So this is a 720p projector. It's upscaling the image to 1080p. To be totally honest, it doesn't look great, and it's not able to decode 4K, at least with the PlayStation 5 it's not. So let's just go ahead and play a few games and see how it plays.
Just over 3 minutes to go.
So there you have it, guys. That was the Bakey HY300 smart projector. And here are my pros and cons. So this is an interesting projector. If you're someone who is on a budget and doesn't want to spend more than 50 or 60 quid, and you don't really care about image quality, brightness or sound quality, then this projector might be right for you. The video and gaming samples you guys have just seen pretty much tells you exactly what you can expect from this projector. And in case you're wondering how this one ranks in my top projector performance chart of 2023, where you can compare the specs and prices of all the recently reviewed projectors, well, as you guys can see, the Bakey H300 smart projector has ranked position 34 at the bottom of the table. So that should give you a pretty good idea of what I think of this projector. Now, if you want to take your time and study my charts, then head over to chigstech.com and view them completely free of charge. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.